Hi, welcome to How It Plays. I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
And today we're playing
Assassin's Creed
Brotherhood of Venice.
So long.
A lot of words.
All right, so this is an adventure game, campaign style, set in the world of Assassin's Creed, a la the video game.
Indeed.
So as always, before we get started, let me take you through the primer so you are familiar with what is going on.
All right.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice is a cooperative adventure game set in the world of Assassin's Creed. Players take on the roles of assassins in training as they improve their characters' abilities and strengths while working through the campaign story. Each round begins with an event phase, followed by player actions, which can be taken in any order until all players have exhausted all action cubes they wish to take. The enemies next take their turn, and this starts by calling in reinforcements. Just like in the video game, the number of reinforcements will vary depending on the alert state. It is in the best interest of the assassins to stay incognito for as long as possible and not raise any alarms.
The beauty of me being hidden is that I can attack with my hidden blade up to 3 times.
Yes. In this playthrough, we will take you through one of the later tutorial scenarios to demonstrate some of the key mechanics without spoiling any of the rich story. Will one of our favorite video game IPs translate well into board game form?
How rich is the narrative? Well, what does it really feel like? What it's aiming to feel like?
Yeah. Find out now as we show you how it plays.
All right, welcome to the table.
Welcome to 16th century Venice.
Venice, Italy. We are assassins.
We are. We look like assassins.
And we have a creed. So we are here to basically fulfill a mission while Ezio, I guess the main assassin, the real deal assassin, because we're kind of like baby assassins. We've just really kind of, we're still level 0.
We're like assassins in training.
Yeah, we're in training. And while Ezio's fighting Caesar Borgia up on the walls of this castle, we're trying to sneak in, dispatch some guards, and steal some valuables and some other stuff if we can, possibly, and then get out of Dodge, right? Because we are just not strong enough to take on all of the baddies that are probably going to come in once we start doing this. But that's what we have. So take a look at the table. What we are playing here is what's called memory sequence 0.3.
Right.
This is essentially the third tutorial mission where it introduces you to all of the base actions that you can do, right? And all the base mechanics of the game. We felt this would be the best way to demonstrate what the game has without giving away too much.
Yeah, I think there's not a ton of like spoilers, if you will, in this scenario. So
not at all. Yeah, and we're going to stay away from anything that happens outside of the scenario because, and we'll talk about that in a little bit with all the other good stuff that's bundled in with this game. But what we wanted to do is really just demonstrate how the game plays so that you get a good feel of what the mechanics are and if it's something that sort of fits with what you're looking for. All right, so basically what we have is the setup for this scenario. It tells you exactly what to lay out. You've got varying tiles. You've got ground. You've got a tower. You've got some rooftops. And you've got some interior rooms. Now, the interior rooms have black outlines that represent walls. So, for example, you can only go in from the south here. This room here, you can only go in from the east. So east to west to go in there. There are ladders to go from the ground to the roof, only for the enemies. The assassins can jump from the roof to the ground.
They sure can.
Freely, as you know, if you know anything about Assassin's Creed. Our mission, where we start here at the fast travel station, is to capture one of these 2 objectives. Objective 1 here is Caesar Borgia's special secret items, his goods that we're trying to take. Yeah, some valuable we're trying to take, right? Over here is his armory, where there's even better stuff for us. We need to do either or both. Get back to the station and bounce. That's how we complete this mission.
Yes.
Or we both die and the game's over. One or the other. You got
desynchronized.
Yes, and we will be desynchronized. You've got locations A, B, C, and D. Those are enemy spawn points. The rounds all go in a pretty standard sequence. You'll have an enemy event phase, our assassin action phase, and then an enemy phase, and then end of round.
Right.
It goes really quick, and it's really straightforward. So we'll jump right to it.
Okay.
Like I said, we're starting here. You are the assassin. Who?
Alessandra. Who's
and
yellow.
Her special ability.
So once per turn, after I attack with my common sword, I have 2 weapons to start. I can ignore and re-roll one of the dice that rolled a certain symbol, and we'll get into that when we do combat.
And I'm playing Bastiano, who is, if we are in a red alert state, I will perform all detection tests on a roof as if we were in the green state. He's just better at rooftop hiding.
Yeah, I guess.
That's his skill. That's what he does.
All right, cool. So I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, but you won't, because we're going to do an event first, actually.
All right, what's happening?
All right, so dead end. During this turn, one assassin can remove one ladder placed on their square for free.
Oh, that's nice. That's good.
That is good, nice. All right,
that's
so
nice.
Keep that in mind.
Okay.
So how would you like to begin this?
Not that really matters right now. That's okay. So I'm going to spend 2 action cubes, and I'm going to move. And the way movement works is you can spend 1 cube per space that you want to move. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to use this last action cube to just save an action cube. So I'm going to essentially spend that and save it for next round, because there's nothing else I can really do. I can move in here, but I can't fight him. So
okay.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of a ladder so they can't climb up on the roof?
I mean, I could remove this ladder, maybe. Or what, you want
probably
that
that
one?
one.
Okay. I just feel like they're not gonna fill up in here.
Well,
this could end up being a safe haven for us later on.
From which side?
From this side.
Why wouldn't they fill up in there? Because there's D location. Anything spawning on D spawns in there, right?
All right, fine.
I'm just saying, there's more room to run this way
than
there is to run that way. So we'll take this off the board.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a north direction here, which is which direction the enemies are going to move when they come in. So we have to keep that in mind. I mean, do you want me to go right after this guy?
I kind of feel like you need
Here's
to.
my problem, though. Like, I can go up here. So it costs a cube to move 1 square, right?
Right.
I can go 1, 2, 3. And it's the end of my turn.
Yeah.
They're spawning A, B, C, or D.
Right.
Or at least 3 of those 4 they're going to come in. If they spawn with me, I'm going to get hit.
You're going to get detected right away?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why don't you just move there and save a cube?
I could do that, but then... So that's 2 spaces. 1, yeah, it's exactly what you did. Just get into position.
It's good to have those extra moves. So if they do spawn in there, at least then you can move in and you can actually fight a couple times.
Maybe.
Try to get rid of them.
We'll see what happens.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well. Let's see what happens. Let's see where this takes us.
All right, so we're done.
Yep. So now we're going to do enemy phase. So enemy starts with the reinforcements. So we pull from the enemy reinforcements deck, and we look at what color alert. We're still in green alert, so we're only going to get 3 archers, or crossbowmen, as they're called. And they will come into A, B, and D.
Okay.
So A, B,
and D over
and
here.
D.
All right.
And
so
now
D is going to get locked in.
They're going to move north, all of them. Oh boy. So he's going to go here. He's actually going to come in here. That was my fear.
Yeah.
That was my fear. All right. So what I have to determine now.
You could have gone here.
I could have, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So now what we have to decide is, do I get spotted? Because we both start incognito. Nobody knows who we are, but he's now in my square. Can I avoid him? Let's find out. So we roll 1 red die per enemy, and he spotted me. Right off the bat.
That sucks.
Yep, this is probably the worst thing that can happen at the start of the game, is to be spotted. Because number 1, he spotted me. You know what, though? No.
No?
I'm going to do this. Because...
Are you going to move onto the roof?
No, because I moved up. I went 1, 2... 1, 2, but I'm going to be in the hay. That's a hiding spot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Why would I not be in the hidden, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here like a fool.
Okay.
I'm hidden.
Yeah, you're sitting in the hay.
Yeah, this is Assassin's Creed. This is what I would do in the game. Like, why would I just stand out in the open when if there's a basket of hay next to me? I'm going to sit in that hay. So that, to me, that wouldn't make any sense thematically. I'd be a fool if I was an assassin and that happened. So that's the
You're
end.
just like, Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, here I
Frozen
am.
of no more actions left.
But that would be silly. So that ends the round, basically. So we didn't complete. So at the end of the round, you just look to see if you completed all your objectives. That's obviously not going to happen. So we start over for the next round.
Right.
Now we have 4 actions because we saved 1 action.
Yeah.
And we can flip the next event, which is Ladro. So we need to immediately roll 1 black die for each assassin. So I roll 1, you go ahead and roll 1. And we're looking to not get these hits.
All right, I did not get a hit.
And I did. So for each hit, a thief steals 1 equipment card from the player's choice from the assassin board. Affected players can use 1 record. So I don't have any equipment on my board, so I'm going to ignore this. The direction that they're going to head is south.
Yep.
So we keep that in mind, and we can start off. I'm actually going to start off because I'm hidden.
Yeah, go for it.
I can use my hidden blade.
Okay.
Which costs me 1 action cube, but if I'm incognito, I can eliminate 1 guard in my square.
That's great. Because that's actually our extra for full synchronization, right?
Right. So with this mission, not only do we have to get one of those 2 objectives, but to achieve full synchronization, which is something that carries across every mission. It's something you want to achieve on each mission. For this particular mission, it's to kill an enemy while incognito with your hidden blade.
Right.
And that was just achieved.
Yeah, great.
So I'm happy about that. You can go. I just wanted to do that.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. And we can go back and forth, so you don't have to spend like all your actions like turn by turn or person by person. I'll spend 1. I'm going to jump in. Yeah. Do you want me to do that? Do you want me to wait until you're closer? I mean, here's the thing. I almost feel like strategically, we need to both be attacking these guys
at the same time
this time, like at least this round, because I can go if it's red alert when I jump in here. It doesn't really affect us until the enemy phase, as long as you are okay.
It's just tough if I'm going to. I can get in there and fight, but I get 1 attack round. So
what's that?
I'll only get to
you
attack
get
them
one
once.
Attack, yeah.
So if you want to go ahead. You go ahead.
I mean, we kind of we have to, though.
Well, we do, I mean? Yeah. Either this round or next round we do.
Yeah, so what?
That's up to you if you want to do it this round or next round.
Well, otherwise I wouldn't have anything to do this round.
Yeah, you would. You'd climb the tower and synchronize if you want.
Yeah, but then I have to spend a whole round to get all the way back, and more guys will start piling up here.
They will.
My goal is to get in here, get the objective, and get out before this thing gets overrun by bad guys.
Then get in there and kill them, and don't get discovered.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'll tell the dice to
well, we'll see. We'll see how you handle your incognito check. So
2 dice.
Run red die per enemy. Let's see.
Run red die.
Run red die. And no mitigants. Boom! And you actually avoided it.
Did it.
So
I got a blank, and then this guy, which you only
if it's red.
Only if it's red do you get seen.
Do they spot you? So you went in there and secretly.
That's because I'm the best baby assassin.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna kill them. So I'm gonna roll. Now here's what I can do. I can spend 1. I can use my I can't use my common sword.
Why wouldn't you just use your hidden blade twice?
I'll use my hidden blade twice. I don't even have to roll.
No, that's instant. One.
I'm incognito.
Yeah.
Eliminate a guard on your square.
1 cube per attack.
Run right up behind him.
1.
And also this guy.
And 2, and that's all your actions. But
dead.
So worth it.
It is so worth it. I don't have enough actions left to do the objective, but that's okay. Because I can hopefully loot and get them next time.
Right. So now that doesn't force me to have to go in here and kill them. Well, because I could, but what that'll do right before
it's gonna end up
it'll spawning double the amount, which I think is not worth it. So I could spend 1 to search and hide. So I'm searching that body and hiding it. I draw 1 equipment card. So now I have a smoke bomb.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna go ahead and equip right away. So 1. Use a cube and target a nearby square. Any exposed assassins on that square become incognito. So that's something.
You're going to use that right now?
No, I'm putting it in my slot to be used.
See. Okay.
Right? So that's my level 1.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there so that I have it now, and I'm going to use it at some point.
Okay.
And I have 2 actions left, so I can go up and synchronize.
If you want.
I mean, I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean.
Right? Like I can climb up and then actually save 1 cube for next round. Because I could jump down 1, 2, 3, and then 4 attack next round anyway. So
with only 1 cube. So you're not going to synchronize, or you are?
I can't this round.
So you're going to synchronize, jump down, move again, and then go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next time.
Well, either way, I can't
Either
get
way,
to
it's the
them.
same.
I can't
Yeah.
get to them, right?
Right.
And if I go in here, they could spawn on me, right?
Yeah.
And there's only 2 enemies on the board anyway, and we're not going to get much.
Yeah.
I don't think. Here,
We shouldn't, yeah.
right? So we bring in 4 guys. So 2 coming into A. Where's that? Yeah, down here, which is fine. 2 coming to
1
A.
into B.
1 into B, and 1 where else?
In C. So we have more guys up there.
And 1 inside. So the third one comes into C. 1 goes into B. All right. So worst case, if we can't get to C, we just get out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, they're just piling up.
Now they move, but they're moving south.
Okay.
So this guy's actually going to come down here. Those 3 stay because they're linked to the objective.
Yep.
Those 2 stay.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Okay. Not bad.
All right. So I'm going to pull the next event, and it is Whistle.
Okay.
During this turn, one time only, one incognito assassin can use 1 cube to whistle and attract 1 guard located in a nearby square. This is really good, actually. Including their own square. The guard moves to the assassin's square and is eliminated without performing a detection test.
That's great, yeah.
So, wow, so you're lucky. You got no spawn, so you have full autonomy to do whatever you want there.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll loot the bodies. First, I'm going to spend 1 to just loot and hide
2
the bodies.
bad guys.
Yeah.
So that's 2 equipment cards for you.
Yep. I also have a smoke bomb.
Oh,
so
no,
I'll...
an investigation
Oh,
card.
no. Well, can I put my smoke bomb here?
Sure.
Okay. Stop searching. 1 crossbowman on a nearby square immediately moves to your square. Perform a detection test. But I don't have a
There's
nearby
nobody.
square.
Yeah.
There's nobody. So
Okay.
poo-poo on you, investigation.
Sorry, guys. Not
Sorry.
happening.
And I'll spend 2 to meet the objective.
Cool.
So that comes here. And I will spend 1 maybe to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to get out of there?
Yeah, because if anything spawns in there,
Yeah. Will they'll immediately kill me, or I have to fight them?
They'll detect you.
Yeah,
And
I
that could
don't want that
raise the
now.
alarm. You
So
definitely
let's
don't
do
want
that.
that.
And they're going north anyway when they spawn. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Sounds good.
what I can do is I can spend 1 to
Are you gonna sync? Oh, you're not.
1 to sync. Let's do it. Let's
If
show.
you-
Let's
yeah,
show what happens.
We should show
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. So when you do your synchronization, it'll show you where to put stuff.
Yep.
So we have a chest coming out of the map right there,
All right. A treasure chest is going to come out. I put a little token underneath it,
and we'll put this in the envelope.
and that's been revealed.
Mm-hmm.
So I could
But don't let it distract you.
drop down for
Let's
1.
get it later.
I will spend 1 to whistle this
Okay.
guy over, and he immediately gets killed.
Okay.
I'm in this little thing of hay. So what I'll do is I'm going to search and discard his body in the hay with me because I don't want him to see that dead body because that'll raise alarms. All right. And I discovered a parachute.
Okay.
So I'm hidden. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So everybody's going to reinforce and then move. So there's a lot more guys here.
So we have 2 in A, 1 in B.
2 in A, 1 in B. So they're all
Down here.
crossbowmen. We don't have any agile guards coming in yet, thankfully. 2 in
1
A,
in B.
1 in B. All right, and they're going to move north. So he goes in, max of 4 per room, north and north. Oops.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, I'm hidden, so
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to handle this yet, but we'll figure it out. I'm incognito, right?
Yeah.
But I'm hidden.
Right.
So if I come out, they're going to try to detect me.
Yeah.
So I really have to figure that out.
Okay.
But I think we will start the next round.
Okay. All right.
All right, so let's see what we've got. We've got evade. During this turn, each of your attacks, the assassins can ignore and reroll 1 white die that has rolled a.
Oh, okay.
Retaliation
That's like
symbol, the X.
my passive.
It's yours, but permanently.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Put your
Yeah.
action cubes back.
So the beauty of me being hidden is that I can attack with my hidden blade up to 3 times.
Yes.
For all 3 of my actions. So I'm going to go, but I'm not. So they're going to move north. So that's actually quite
That's
good.
good.
I'm going to attack twice, kill 2 of them. And then my 3rd cube is going to be to hide them So I'm pulling them in the hay with me. Otherwise, I don't want him seeing them. And I'm going to draw 2 more equipment cards. 1, 2. I'm allowed to hold up to 5. Got a lot of parachutes.
Okay. I don't have any parachutes.
So that's my turn. What are you going to do? I'm like stuck here just killing everybody.
Well, you're not really stuck. You're just not moving.
I can't. I was surrounded. So you can come out and do your thing. We'll get that chest maybe, but he'll come in there with you.
Yeah. I'm not into that. I could just come in there and kill him, but we risk.
That's the trick. Do we go for the kills and try to get our last objective and get out?
I don't know.
Because we do have to be incognito to get out. So do we just get out at this point?
Yeah, I feel like we just get out at this point because I feel like we're just going to keep getting more and more people spawning.
Yeah, it's really going to start to fill up over here.
Yeah.
And I think because we
Especially if we get revealed. Like, this is just not even... This is being incognito or having our red alert, like, green.
I agree. I think we should not get greedy.
You know what I mean?
So why don't you head out?
Because we got the big money one. That was the big point.
Well, that was the big experience one, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I'll spend 2 to go 1, 2, and 1 to fast travel off the map.
So you're off the map. Gone.
I'm back in the lab.
And Bastiano's like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right. So here we go. We have an Agile coming into A.
Okay.
Oh, man. Right in my face.
Oh, that's
This is not good. So Agile Guard comes in and 2 more crossbowmen. Now keep in mind, folks, if you ever run out of crossbowmen or any miniatures, the game's over immediately. Yeah. So you do have to manage how many are coming out. So 1 was supposed to come into C, but there are already 4 in C.
Yeah.
So I don't bring any more in. They are moving north. These guys can't go here, so they're staying. This guy can move up, and this guy can move up here. So I've got to deal with this one guy. That's it. Next round, I've got 3 actions here that I can get out here with, hopefully. Pull the event. We have, you don't belong here. During this turn, any detection test on a roof is carried out as if a red alert, except for the assassin Bastiano.
Yeah, but you are Bastiano.
So I can ignore that. So they're all going to move west this round.
Yeah. But
first things first, I am going to spend 1 action to hidden blade this guy real quick.
Really?
Well, if I jump out, he's going to detect me, and I can't do that.
Right, yeah.
So now I'm going to spend 2 more to go 1. Well, I'm actually going to hide him with 1.
For 1?
For 1. You have to, because they're going to see. I don't want the alarm to go off.
Yeah.
There's a parachute.
Okay.
And then 2 to go here.
Okay.
I think I'm safe, because they're moving west, but they're not coming into my square yet. And I'm not discovered, so I'm still incognito. So we're going to bring in more guys. All right, so another Agile.
In A?
Yep, in A. Man. And he's moving west. What a jerk. I'm going to have to fight him out.
Yep.
Oh, this is just getting worse and worse. Okay.
2 in B.
2 in B.
And 1 in D.
And 1 in D. So 3 more crossbowmen. 2 in B, 1 in D. There's your 1. So D's going to just sit there because he's got nothing going.
Yeah.
They're moving west. Of course it had to be west. West, 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 west. Wow, what a patrol. West. Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 actions to get out of here. Here's the event. Corruption. During this turn, the first assassin to become exposed after a detection test can choose to give 1 equipment card for each
That's great.
in order to bribe the enemy. An assassin ignores the roll. So I'm going to come in.
Would you like a parachute?
Yes, so I'm going to come in. I'm going to roll for discovery, and he doesn't see me anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 1 more to fast travel on home.
Okay.
And that
we left the chest behind.
we did. We left the chest. We left the other objective.
That's okay.
But you know what? Things could have gone south pretty quickly.
Yes. They do.
But I'm pretty happy about the fact that we took care of that.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's go talk about it.
All right, there you have it. Memory sequence 0.3 complete.
Complete.
We are synchronizing.
We are, and we even did the tower and everything.
We did.
You did this thing with your hidden blade.
We
killed a lot of guys with our hidden blades.
We did full synchronization. Good. We got the bonus.
Yeah.
So, look, we always struggle with these playthroughs when it comes down to a campaign.
Yes.
Just because, I know, like whenever I play an adventure game, I really lean into the story, and I think that's where these games shine. How rich is the narrative? Well, what does it really feel like? What it's aiming to feel like?
Yeah.
And we can give you our thoughts on that, right? We obviously didn't play through the full campaign. We didn't show you, half of what is in the box and half of what this.
Even though we know what's in the box.
Well, we know most of what's in the box.
But then there's all those sealed envelopes.
But there's a
and all
ton
that
of.
kind of stuff,
there are
there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen.
Ton of envelopes that, basically, you open up for each of these sequences, right? And they just keep going. So there's a ton of that rich narrative that we can't share because obviously that's too much spoiler, right? So what we could do and what we were able to do is show you how the mechanics work in the game.
Right.
And if the mechanics are like, you know what, that looks pretty good, I can get that, it seems simple enough, and it becomes more of a tactical puzzle, then, and if that's something you like, then bang, this is right on it because you've got a tactical puzzle with a story wrapped around it.
Yeah, essentially.
I'd say there's an absolute ton of role player RPG sort of style that comes out of this, right? Because you're given upgrades, you're given improved weapons, you're given skills. We don't even show you the assassin skills that you're going to gain,
right?
That allow you to do special things. We have our own special abilities that are passives, but they're not overly strong.
Yeah,
they will get stronger later,
right?
And as you play through these memories, you're going to start building up sort of your equipment deck. You're going to start building up the event deck. Like all of these things sort of just keep building and building, building. There's a whole bunch of stuff you do between memory sequences. In your villa, and then you get like an HQ and all this other stuff. These are just things that sound cool and they are cool, right? Because it creates more of that sort of. And I always, whenever playing a video game, you always have that sort of maintenance period between when you complete a level or you complete like for anyone who's played World of Warcraft or anything like that, you go on a raid and you grind it out for a few hours. You get a bunch of you roll good and you get a bunch of gear. You don't mess with it until you get back to
back to town,
back to your bank, back to the auction house, and you go through your goods and your loot, and you figure out what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of.
Right.
How does it improve your stats? All this stuff. So this is it's like having that bundled in this for Assassin's Creed, which in a lot of the later Assassin's Creed games, you've got a lot of that that equipment, and you've got gear, and you've got all that other stuff that becomes a major part of how well you do late game, plus all the skills and going up the right skills. So it has all that.
Yeah.
But I found it really neat too how they incorporated the sort of the fast travel, because that's a big part of Assassin's Creed. Is fast traveling all over the map. Yeah,
and you do, if it wasn't like abundantly clear, we do have to get back to the fast travel station incognito. And we can do it at several times, like you saw here, which is nice. But we did not become exposed or do the red alert this time because we were overly cautious.
Yeah, so to show
you how that works, maybe.
It's interesting, right? So when you go into a square and there's bad guys, you saw how we rolled for exposure to see if they actually saw us. And it's just kind of like when you're walking too close to an NPC in guard in the game, and they see you, and they're like, oh, and you get that little meter, and it pops, and all of a sudden you're found, right? So you take your mini, and you put a red shoe on them, right? So now they've got a red shoe, and they're going after you now. So they're gonna, in their movements, they're gonna move towards you if they're adjacent to you, and they're gonna come and they're gonna fight you. And you don't have a lot of health in this game, so you do not want to fight. This isn't a game where you've got armor to the point where you're negating hits. Like, you're going to take damage, right? And you do not want to, because you only have like 3 health. So you want to run. And when you run, so if you leave a square with bad guys and you go into an adjacent square that's empty, when you get into that square, you take off the boot and you leave this behind. It's like leaving your silhouette.
It's like that ghost that stays behind.
And that's where they know you went. And they're going to go after this.
It's like your last known location.
And if you can get out of that square and you're another square away where you're not with the enemy, at the end of that turn, you're actually going to become incognito again. You've run far enough away, nobody sees you, the square is empty.
And like no red alert.
Right. Well, no, the red alert will stay. Until there's an event that can turn, or something that will turn it back green. It's really hard to go back from that.
Which is why I think we were being extra cautious.
Yes. Yeah.
Not just charging in.
It's pretty ruthless once you put them on high alert. I mean, if you've played Assassin's Creed,
Right.
if you attack like a base and they signal the alarm because you didn't get that one dude, and he goes and everybody lights the big fire, and all of a sudden the alarm goes off, and all these dudes on horses come in, and there's like 1,000 troops now.
Right.
The odds are you're not going to be able to take that base until it cools off. So you're going to go do something else.
Well, yeah, and in a small memory like this, there's not that much else to do.
No, and there's nowhere.
It just
So
quickly gets overrun.
Yeah.
Before you can manage
So it's like, okay, let's bail, reset, come back in when things cool off, right? So to me, it's very, very reminiscent of playing Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because the enemies don't matter. It's about the numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So if there's a handful of them, you can quick dispatch them with your hidden blade. But when there's like a ton, you may get 2 of them, but then the rest are on you.
Yeah.
And in Assassin's Creed, your actual melee weapons, like the swords, are only so good. When there's too many bad guys, you just get overwhelmed.
Right.
And that's just not the premise of Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is supposed to feel like you're sneaking around.
Right.
Doing hits, doing assassinations, and then getting out.
Right.
And that's what this game really, really puts forward, which is neat. Because
really
it's
cool.
so very different.
Yeah, and I wish we could have been able to use like our smoke bombs and stuff like that. So like the parachute is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because you can jump off of a roof into a room. Like we could have, like I say we could have, but like if we could have worked it out where we both could have been like over here, use our parachutes, jumped in, parachuted. It allows you to completely, lay down one enemy before you do your detection test. So, you kind of get rid of 2 guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so this is really cool equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really neat. And it does give you that same kind of feel, like when you're playing the game, or if you're me, like when you're watching the game being played.
Watching me play the game, yes.
But it's really neat. It's very cool. It was a really, really neat experience.
Yeah, it definitely is. And like I said, we didn't play all the way through, so I'm very excited to see where this story goes.
But yeah, like knowing the story that we're not sharing with you.
Yeah.
It's and knowing also like what some of the other components are, like what some of the other minis are, because obviously those you can see.
Yeah.
And they're in the rule book. Like there's some like spoilers you just can't avoid. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I want to see how that's incorporated.
Very, very exciting. And you can, you could, later in the campaign drop an additional assassin in. They tell you what the minimum skills and all that stuff are to be for that level, depending on which memory sequence you're in. So there are ways, so you're not like stuck. If somebody doesn't start from the beginning, they can't join you. There's 4 assassins in the game that you could play with. So that's really, really cool.
That's one of the things that I always look for in these kinds of campaigns is that we're usually playing, like we may have a couple sessions that we do like with the kids, but then we want to do one like on our own, or we want to, you know what I mean? So
worse is waiting on somebody.
Yeah. So I'm always looking for something for that ability to do that in an easy way, and I think that this definitely delivers on that, which is great.
Absolutely. So I think that about wraps it up, and we really hope you were able to get a feel for what this game has to offer. As much as we'd love to share more with you, I think this really is as much as I personally feel comfortable showing.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think that if this, in my opinion, should give you enough to know whether or not you want this game. And if you are into Assassin's Creed, you're into these sort of tactical miniature stealth games with RPG elements and rich narrative.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer,
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I'm not actually sure how you can get this game at this point, if it's in retail currently, because I know it did fund on Kickstarter, and that's how these games were put out. But outside of that, I don't know if they're still readily available. But definitely go if it interests you. I would definitely try to find yourself a copy, because it definitely feels, looks, and plays like Assassin's Creed as a board game. So well done.
Yeah, very well done.
All right, so thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you.